Hi guys, welcome for the fourth episode already from STRAAT Talks. After we hit Vindek, Milo and Snick last week, we now are ready for the fourth episode today with Ben Slow. I know Ben is already ready to join us. Hi Mike, hi John. We're just waiting a second for the fourth episode of STRAAT Talks today with Ben Slow from the UK. Ben is a dear friend. Hi Nick. Hey DJ Superior. Ben is a dear friend. I see he's coming. Father is also joining. So, we're going live with Ben. And it's his birthday, I know. 1 second, guys. Yes.
Yo.
Yes, there he is.
Hey, babes, how you doing?
Happy birthday, bud.
Thank you very much.
Oh, look at this.
In truth, though, I've just eaten a whole pizza, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to manage to...
This one is for you.
But, oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Can you just blow it?
Seamless.
Oh, my God. We're just such a team.
It's beautiful.
Oh, my God. So, Ben.
How you doing, man?
I just did a little introduction to the 17 people, 18 people, 19 people watching now.
So popular.
Yeah, you're amazing. Yeah. So how have you been?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
Well, still sort of recovering. That's the problem with older birthdays. Still not quite running at 100%, but otherwise, yeah, good, man. Been out here in Copenhagen now for nearly a month.
Okay.
So just starting to get into some sort of normality with it. Some sort of routine. Got out to play golf for the first time today. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
dragged the poor lady out.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a good one when she agrees to walk around in the rain with you for a few hours playing golf. So,
did she like it or?
We're working on that.
Okay. Yeah. It was your birthday, so.
Exactly. So
I
owe her for sure. She's definitely got one on me there. But yeah, no, it's fun, man.
So 13 years today?
Yeah, if only. Saying how that happens. 37. I have no bloody
37.
I know, man.
You don't look like it or act like it.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that second one for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
No, good, man. Nice Danish cake this morning. You know, chilling out. Kind of get to the studio to see your lovely face, and let's see how we get on.
How did I do? Did I disappoint you?
Beautiful as ever.
Yeah.
My Dutch cherub.
Yeah. Yeah. Ben already told me he's going to flirt a lot with me during this hour, so
I just can't help it.
Stay tuned.
Look, yeah. You
look
just can't help it, man. Look at it.
Amazing. Anyway, so living in Copenhagen since a month.
Yeah. So I met my lady not long. Well, just over a year ago. Just over a year ago, I was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I got back literally just as COVID was hit. I think I got back like a year ago yesterday. So I kind of just survived that. And then a bit strangely through COVID, we got chatting a little bit more. And then I came to visit once or twice.
Yeah.
Sort of escaped the solitude of Scotland. And yeah, I mean, with all the Brexit madness, it was kind of now or never. Yeah. So kind of officially got all the paperwork done at the end of last year. And yeah, my new home, mate. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, perfect. No, I remember. When were you in Rotterdam?
Yeah, actually, that was the second time I think I was coming over. So was that the summer? Was that?
Yeah, somewhere in the summer.
Getting ready to open, I think.
Yeah. So, because you also visited the museum just before the opening.
Came by and saw that, which was mad. Stayed with you for a couple of days, and then I think we came over here.
Yeah, people joining us.
Oh,
Lars.
There's Lars. Hey,
you know Lars?
Yeah, he's a good lad. We're going to go and paint tomorrow. Which will be
nice.
Fun. I haven't painted anything on the streets for at least a year, so it'd be fun to get out tomorrow and have a little play.
Okay, so is he organizing something or just going?
Yeah, I think Lars has got his fingers in a few pies here. He kind of knows what he's doing. He seems to know. We got a lot of mutual friends, you know how it is, sort of thing online. So I met him when I was here end of last year, and we were meant to go and paint. Didn't happen, so looking forward to doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, how's life treating you? Because you moved to Copenhagen. I met you last summer.
Yeah,
What?
man. No, it's been a weird one, hasn't it? It's been a weird
Yeah.
one, but I'd say, oh, who's that? Oh, my man Jamie's on. Hey, a friend from Canada. Canada, yeah, from Canada, who I was with in Vietnam.
Mm.
Where were we? So,
So
what was?
last summer, and what happened in between
Yeah, man.
Copenhagen
Like, I
and?
mean, well, it's crazy, isn't it? My plan was to be back out in Asia. My
Hmm.
plan was to go out and see if I could live there, maybe, but very
Yeah.
quickly that wasn't going to happen. And I ended up kind of quite fortunately up at my mum's, up in the middle of nowhere, up in Scotland. Beats kind of being stuck in a little flat in London. So
Yeah,
I was
you
quite
told me.
lucky in that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, just life has a way of, throwing up surprises. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite amazing.
So how's
Um,
Copenhagen?
yeah, I love it, man. I mean, in fairness, we're waiting for the spring and summer.
Mm.
Everything's the bars and everything are still closed, but I got kind of a little taste of it last summer. It was weird.
Okay.
I came here and it was as if COVID had never happened here. They had like a really good summer for a few months,
Oh yeah.
um, and it's
Remember, we had
nice,
the
man.
same. We had the
So that
same in
again?
Holland.
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
the
yeah.
same in Holland
Exactly. It
with you.
was. It was across Europe. It was. Yeah. Even when I came to you guys, it was pretty,
Yeah.
pretty normal-ish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But no, it's a really nice spot because I lived in London for, I don't know, 12, 13 years and I loved it.
Hmm.
But London's changing a lot, and it was grand in my 20s,
Hmm.
but I'd get to the point where I was more talking about how much I used to like this place rather than, you know what I mean? It was all getting a bit
Yeah.
much. So I think I got really lucky with Copenhagen because it's obviously a capital city, but a lot smaller, a lot more
Yeah.
manageable. I mean, you go everywhere on bike in 20 minutes, man, but it's still got everything that a capital city has.
Hmm.
And yeah, really lucky to get this studio, which is like 15 minutes on the bike from the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, just looking forward to everything opening up, really. And the Danish are pretty similar to the British, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh.
Certainly the sort of sense of humour, the drinking culture, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it's
So,
been
but
a pretty easy transition in the most part, I'd
okay.
say. So
So, but they're similar to you. Then
yeah,
they don't have a sense of humor.
there is that. There is that indeed. Yes, exactly. That's why we get on so well.
Yeah. Ah, that's perfect. So, what are you working on right now? I see you a little
Um,
bit fake. How's your Wi-Fi treating you?
yeah, what's it look? It says it's really good. I got it at the studio. Is it okay or is it pixelating a bit?
Well, it's better than Nick
Than
last
Nick,
week.
yeah, easier said than
Is he
yeah.
still watching?
I checked it and it said it was all right, but
No, right now it's
I
better.
mean the main
Maybe
thing is
just
you look beautiful. I can see you,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
fine. We're good, man. We're
We
good.
know this already, but
Exactly.
just don't move too much, and then it will be
I
fine.
get you. All right,
Yeah.
got you.
So, but what are you working on right now? You're painting tomorrow, first time in a year. But what
Yeah.
else are you doing?
Well, yeah, like I had plans for murals, and
Mm-hmm.
that all kind of went sideways, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I've gone from not painting at all to I think I've got so I'm going to paint tomorrow, and then I've also got another paint later in the week, which is just a little kind of fun thing here.
Okay.
Some sort of new food hall. I just figured it'd be a nice opportunity to meet a few people and get a bit
Yeah.
of money towards all the materials I've bought since I've come here. So it's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
fun. I've properly set up again, which has been grand. I mean, not cheap, but important to do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just kind of cleared everything, pretty much everything, when I left Scotland. So I can kind of now start here, with a really nice kind of clean new slate. So I think
Yeah.
you can see a little bit. It's a little more colourful
Yeah.
generally than
Yeah. Yeah.
my usual
No.
stuff. So
Yeah. No, I saw the transformation. But
yeah,
are
it's
you
fun.
working on something specific, like
Well,
YouTube?
no, like I tell you what, man. Like for all of what was shit about COVID, for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, and I'm very aware of how lucky I was. Like I said, I was up in the middle of nowhere. We were away from the majority of it, and I had the studio to try and keep me a little bit sane or
Mm-hmm.
sane-ish.
Yeah.
There was a lot about it that was hard, but it was also, I don't know if you saw that artist support pledge thing that was doing the rounds. And that was
Um,
set up by an artist at the beginning. And it was just this great
who was
initiative
it?
to kind of sell pieces of work. I think it's like 200 quid. And for every
Okay.
5 you sold, you then bought someone else's.
Okay. Cool.
And I guess up until that point, I wasn't really making anything in the studio. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
was, but it was a very slow process.
Yeah.
I'm not the quickest.
No.
But it kind of forced my hand because I went from having jobs that, with murals that all of a sudden disappeared. And it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And I started playing around with collage. That kind of then lent into screen printing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm super lucky and fortunate that, you know, people were buying it, you know, and it was such an uncertain time. And, you know, I've finally got a really good gallery behind me. That took some time.
And then your account got hacked.
What's that?
Your Instagram account, it got hacked.
Oh, God, I thought you said something else then. I think in the language.
Oh, wow.
It's like, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that happened. That happened around Christmas. That wasn't fun.
No.
Yeah, some bugger got into my account and tried to get money out of me. But fortunately, a friend who works for the company through various channels, bless her, she had to really work at it, but she managed to get it back. And that was great, actually, because it kind of gave me an opportunity to reconnect with a lot of friends, you know, and that's the beauty of it. I was able to say to people, look, hey, this has happened. I could do with a nice little bump. Yeah, see, that's what I thought he said.
Yeah, of course.
Dino
Of course.
it.
I was not going to reply.
I thought we were being polite. I thought it was on my best behavior.
Yeah, no. No, this is museum talk, nice, you know.
Exactly, you got your STRAAT thing on and everything.
Yeah,
you know, business.
Yeah, no. If it's on the Druze, we could have had a different talk.
A slightly different chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no. So that was nice. I just got to reconnect with a lot of people, and it was lovely that people were supportive in kind of sharing what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I was saying, also with all the collage and the screen printing, it just it freed me up. Because, you know, like I said, I'm not the quickest, and painting faces takes time.
Yeah, but it's in your name, Ben. We know.
Exactly. That's a real name, believe it or not. It was just meant to be. But doing all the screen printing allowed me more freedom, because I didn't have to spend hours painting a face and then be precious about it. I was able to just kind of throw around and play around, and you know, I started to really get going. So it kind of, long answer. I've been doing some additions that are pretty much originals, to be honest with you. There's plenty of work that goes into them, and they've been going really well through my gallery at Smithson. I've got a new series that I've got here, and perhaps that one that you can see there might be the beginning of...
Well, it's a little bit fake again. I'm not sure how it is for the viewers at home.
It's a proper, colourful kind of...
Yeah, I can only see some yellow and red in the back.
It's the internet, but you know...
No, maybe if you tap the screen. Maybe I don't know if you tap the... Well, it's a little bit fake again.
Well, we'll leave it as a tease.
Yeah.
But moving away from the black and white, and moving towards a new kind of very personal, very kind of real body of work, hopefully, for an exhibition as and when. You know, the way the world is right now, who knows? So I'm in a nice position. I can just take some time just to kind of focus on the studio work and kind of see where it goes. So it feels good, man. I mean, certainly compared to, you know, 3 years ago when I was there painting that, it was a slightly different story in a lot of ways.
That's right. We're not going into everything about that the trip, but
I don't care.
It's a nice jump, because I actually wanted to talk about the black and white face. You know, also a personal touch. This one, you were here 3 years ago in January. Last week I was talking with Nick and Laura. They were also on the trip together with Doug and other Laura, right?
Yeah, Dougie and Laura and Nikki, and who else was over? There was someone
falling asleep in showers.
Yeah. It wasn't my finest moment. It wasn't my best self. I'll give you that. I basically, my marriage broke down, and it literally happened the day I came.
I remember.
So bless you, you lot. You looked after me, because I was a bit of a mess. I don't know how I got that painting done. I'll be honest, it was not my professional best. It was shit-faced pretty much every night, and then dragging myself out of the shower and trying to get some painting done.
Yeah, no, I remember Nick and me carrying you around Amsterdam, drinking.
I'll tell you what that was. That was that Le Chouf, that Belgian beer we had at the Amsterdam, at the Belgian bar, Chaz's bar. Yeah. Not realising it was about 9%, and drinking it like it was pissy lager that we drink back home.
Yeah, we drank a couple of those. Yeah. Anyway,
not to focus too much on that.
No. But anyway, you painted Doug and Laura, who are like personal dear friends of you.
Yeah, good
of yours.
friends.
Yeah. You still remember the title? It is what it is.
It is what it is, which kind of
Yeah.
says it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is for sure, man. Yeah, because that I then went on to do an exhibition in America at the end of that year, and that was the first one, basically, for that whole body of work, which was a pretty
Yeah.
personal body of work. So, yeah, it was a fun one. I remember one of my main memories being how excited I was to get into the container full of the spray paint. That was like a candy shop.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time actually I used the transparent grey, the really light transparent gold.
Well, I remember you used a lot of paint. There was also a lot of paint on the floor.
I remember that Nick. Was
Yeah.
it Nick wasn't overly happy with me?
Yeah. He
I
wasn't
remember
so happy
that,
about it. No.
and I think it's pretty thickly applied, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you've seen it the other day, or at
Yeah.
least last summer. You can still see like the layers of paint on each other. But hey,
That's how it goes.
you fixed it. I mean,
Yes.
it's here and it's great. I mean, right? It is what it is. But
It is what it is. See what you did there.
oh man, I told myself this so many times like last year. It is what it is. With the whole COVID, the whole museum situation, it is what it is.
Yeah. What can you do?
It's covering it all, you know, and it's I really like the piece also because I know them both. You know, they were also here during the trip. So what do you think about the relationship between restaurant and art?
Restaurant. Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I'm afraid. You might have
No,
to.
but well, because we were talking about Café Belgique before. Maybe that's the reason.
The relationship between there is the London police, basically, I think, isn't it? That's the
street art, restaurant and street art. Okay. No, well, let's wait for Alessandro to
let us know what he
comment a
means
little
by
bit.
that.
Yeah, more. But anyway, so that was my first meeting with you.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Because
yeah.
it's that typical knew of each other online. And I think it was Finn. I'm pretty sure it was Finn who put me, because I think at that time I was living with Finn, or I was about to.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You were staying at his place, I guess.
Yeah, my memory's terrible, unfortunately, but I'm pretty certain. And Finn put me in contact with you, and then it kind of worked perfectly that Nick and Laura were coming over at that time.
That's right. Yeah. No, and then I met you in London a couple of times. You came to Rotterdam, and next trips will be planned soon, hopefully. Right?
Golf or
golf. Yeah.
Or come over here to Copenhagen, man, for sure.
Yeah, I've never been there actually.
Have you not? Oh,
no,
well, then
crazy.
It's a perfect opportunity, man. It's pretty easy from where you are, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, right now nothing is easy, but
I've got people kind of message me saying maybe June time they think they might be able to come over.
That's
we'll
right,
see, man. But there's a bit more of an outbreak, isn't there, in like Italy and other places I've seen. So
Holland is not going that well either. So it's,
really?
No, it's the weekend there was another peak, and right now like hospitals are full again. So anyway, I mean the talks with the artists are just to forget about the whole situation outside, you know, and just focus on the beautiful pieces that are inside that are not visible to the visitors right now.
How long were you open for? How long were you able to have visitors for?
I think like 6 or 7 weeks.
Okay, so taste.
Yeah, in 2 periods. We opened for like 3.5 weeks, and then we had like a semi lockdown, and then 2 weeks after we reopened again for another 3 or 4 weeks. So what's that? Like 6, 7 weeks in total. Yeah, but I mean, people were very enthusiastic about the museum.
I'm not surprised, man.
It's such a diverse skill, you know, such a diverse variety of styles, colors. Yeah, and pieces. Are you still there?
Sorry, yeah, it just went a bit wonky there.
Yeah,
but you're back.
yeah. So you're one of the many black and white. Yeah. You still hear me?
Yeah, it stands out in that way, doesn't it? I think it's in terms of the style and color. There aren't many like that, so it's nice in that way.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, I couldn't
like,
believe the size of the bloody place.
because how do you define your style, if that's even something you can do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's kind of always been for me about trying to. I mean, it's an ongoing battle, isn't it? It's an ongoing process, but trying to find that balance between kind of order and chaos.
Right.
Um,
Chaos it is.
yeah. I mean,
Sometimes, okay, sometimes.
yeah, fitting in many ways, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think portraiture's just. I mean, it's always kind of been what I've done since art school. You know, I didn't have any real art background or anything like that, and I just kind of painted what I saw around me, which was, you know, iconic figures and things like that. And it just kind of it was very much as simple as that. And
Okay.
then that was, crikey, how long was that? That was over 15, 16 years ago, and it's just been on a journey ever since. But I
Yeah.
must say, I was talking to my girlfriend about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the dripping, and you know, which was definitely a part of my work at the beginning. That was literally one of the very first things I did at art college. I remember
Because you studied fine arts in Canterbury?
yeah, so I did that for 3 years, but before that in the UK you do another like 1 year course where you
Okay.
try everything and then you kind of make a decision. And you know, you do fashion, graphics, and I was basically meant to do design, and I came back
Okay.
after Christmas and I hadn't been well with my OCD. Basically, I was put in hospital. Came back and they were like, hey, there's not really actually any room in graphic design. You quite enjoyed painting. Do you want to give that a go? And it was kind of like, all right. And I just started filling up condoms and balloons with paint and throwing them, you know.
Okay.
And it's funny to think that something as simple as that has continued to, you know, it's evolved obviously, but, you know, that's still very much a part of my work today, years later. So kind of I think a lot of happy accidents, a lot of the right time, right place, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just an ongoing, I get bored super easy, man. Like my inspirations are all over the bloody place. You know, don't ask me to tell you if I have a favorite color or a favorite music genre or whatever.
I was going
Just an
to ask you
ongoing,
who's your favorite artist, but
well, painting artist. I couldn't tell you, man. I made a list for you. I did make a list of you so I could try and remember a few names. But yeah, it's just a continued exploration. I mean, I've got 5, 6 pieces on the go here at the moment, and I'll be feeling one, and then I'll move on to the next one the next day. And you know, it's I was saying, I don't know how people like Snick and all those guys do it. The stencil cutting, it's just a different sort of mindset.
yeah.
Being able to repeat the same thing every day. There's probably a lot about that that's good, but my brain just doesn't allow me to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So different question, not like who's your favorite artist, but which artist did inspire you, like in becoming the artist you are right now, or like looking at the back?
There's no two way. There's no getting around the fact that Banksy was one of the first ones. You know, like when I was at school.
Yeah.
Again, it was really limited. It was the names you'd expect to hear from art history. You know, I remember very much enjoying Dali, Jackson Pollock, Warhol. It really was those sort of obvious names. And my dad took me to see one of the very early Saatchi shows with sort of Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin, like early 2000s maybe. But yeah, I went to art school, and to be honest with you, I hated it. It was at a time when, like, my foundation year was amazing, but then the 3 years afterwards, you know, I don't know if it was just my school, but it was all about the conceptual art. I was told by a tutor that painting was dead, painting was over. You know, that was the sort of vibe. And I had planned at that point to then probably go into something like graphic design, but I was lucky enough to quite literally accidentally run into a Banksy show in 2003. I think it was at Santa's Ghetto, I think maybe the second Santa's Ghetto.
Okay.
I was doing some work for someone up in London, and they were like, oh, there's this really interesting show downstairs, go and have a look. It was over in Carnaby Street. And I walked down and I just, you know, blew my mind.
Yeah.
I bought a Banksy.
Nice.
The unsigned one, of course, because the signed one was £30 extra. Sold it about 10 years ago, and went around America for a couple of months with it. Don't even want to think now what that would be worth, but hey, it is what it is.
Hey.
So yeah, bang. So yeah, Banksy, man. Banksy, it made me realise that there was an art form out there that I could kind of maybe play with. You know, I felt like the fine art world was, I didn't understand it. I still don't really, to be honest with you. But seeing what Banksy was doing, and I think there was like Mikolaf was in that show, Mo2, Insect, you know, it was those sort of names. And yeah, that was the beginning of it for me, really. I kind of was going to the Santa's Ghettos every year. Hey, there's my man from Puerto Rico. How you doing, sweetie?
Next.
Yeah, so it was very heavily street art. You know, I remember Laz doing all those early shows. Connor Harrington, all the names you'd expect. You know, Fail, I remember a big Fail show, a big Insect show in King's Cross. And I guess for me, you know, being in London, being around Brick Lane, sort of 2007, 2008, it wasn't the monster it is today. You know, like
it changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's not
like I say, it's one of those, part of the reason, you know, I figured it was time to move on. You know, these things happen. But I met Stick early on. He had an exhibition at one of the bars. I was my friend's bar I was working in, and he was painting around at the time. And I remember doing something alongside him when Rowe had just painted that massive crane in Brick Lane, which was pretty much one of the first ones he did. Yeah. And from there, we kind of organically kind of looked after that street, those walls for a few years. And you know, I painted with Finn there. I made a list the other day, but you know, I had over maybe 5 or 6 years, I had people like Faith came and stayed with me, Dahl, Gaia, Alexis Diaz, Roan, Finton. You know, so it was an amazing time, man, because I was just meeting all these people who, to me, were just, you know, not only sick artists, but, you know, great guys.
Yeah, what's the name of the street again? Finbury Street?
Hanbury Street.
Hanbury Street, yeah.
Man. So we had those 2 walls, and it was just very organic. Like, it lasted for, I don't know, 2-3 months, and then I painted over my own. I was the guy who had to paint over Alexis Diaz before, and you know, we kind of forced that. Yeah.
Which one? The elephant? Oh man.
yeah, man. That one lasted. I think that one got about 8 or 9 months. In fair, actually, that's where I met your man there. He was Alexis's assistant at the time.
Nox.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just a young kid then. He's now a bloody good tattoo artist.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, that was, you know, like, you don't realize it at the time. I was talking with a friend recently. You're just kind of living it, and you didn't really think too much about it. You didn't think that thing was ever sort of going to end.
No, me neither.
Great time, man.
Yeah, no, me neither. I visited so many times, but it's completely gone now.
Yeah, it's the old global street art and all that nonsense. Yeah, it's the same problem kind of in most cities. You go to New York now, you go to LA, you know, I understand how and why, but for me, miss you too, bro. You know, I like to visit now. I like to visit London, don't get me wrong. Still, I got a lot of friends there. Still got a few of my favorite places to go. But I guess I was just really lucky in that way. I just got to meet these artists, and they became friends. They'd crash, I'd go to theirs and stay with them. You know, it's kind of, I always say it's kind of a bit of an extended family. You can kind of go anywhere in the world, and you might not know someone, but you'll know someone who knows someone. And, you know, that's a beautiful thing. Really beautiful thing. You know, me and you, man, like, we met, we had a lot of mutual friends. We met, we've got similar interests. We're both idiots, had a few beers, and, you know, you're kind of friends forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true.
That's my favourite part of it all.
Yeah.
That really is my favourite part of all of it, is the travelling and the people.
Yeah, that's also the thing I miss the most right now. I mean,
yeah, man.
I assume it's the same for you.
Yeah, big, loosely at the moment. Sorry, I think my connection went there a little bit.
No, you're back.
Yeah, I want to get out and about again. I need some sunshine.
Yeah.
You know, my last trip was in Asia. I did a good few months in Asia over the last few years, and that's been amazing. And plan now, hopefully, is to go out to sort of South America more. Got some friends out there, and
very cool.
You know, it's, for me, it's, you know, it happens with work, but it's always nice. You know, January, February, March, the weather isn't exactly the best here, so always a nice time to get away. And I say this is the first probably time in years that I haven't done that, because fortunately I've had a lot of other good stuff going on. You know, I didn't miss it quite so much, I guess.
No. Moved to Copenhagen, girl, playing golf.
Playing golf, man, you know, it ain't so bad. And like I say, you know, when you look at the big picture, you know, I'm lucky, I think, that I've done all right. You know, we're surviving. You know, that's all we can do right now is survive. And if it wasn't for my studio, now don't get me wrong, like my mental health went to shit for a while at the beginning of it. I think like a lot of people, I super struggled, and I had to get some kind of online therapy, and that kind of helped me. But then also, you know, traveling out a little bit more than most, you know, to go and see my girl and whatnot, and the studio, just diving into the work, man. And if it wasn't for that, you know, I don't know how I'd survive. So I've done, in the grand scale of things, I'm doing all right.
That's good to hear. So the online treatment helped you? And
big time, man. Yeah, I mean, you ask anyone who knows me, I'm all about therapy, man. Anyone and everyone. Hey, Piram. I miss you, dude. Piram. I'll tell you about Piram in a bit. That dude is an incredible photographer I met in Cambodia. I was going to be out there now doing collaborations with him. He's a sweetheart. Well, yeah, online therapy, man. It's not the same as the real thing, but for me, it's been super helpful once or twice a month.
Yeah, well, it's good that you're open about it. I mean, I think a lot of people struggle.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. I
think
I was fortunate in some ways that I was diagnosed pretty young with a mental health disorder, so I got no two ways about it. You know, I've always kind of talked about it, and had a couple of friends that were similar, I guess. So, you know, and the artwork for me, I mean, that show I was saying, that piece behind you there and everything, that was all about what was going on in my head. You know, I really try to kind of express as much as I can through the artwork, use it as a positive influence as much as possible.
It's stated also, like, as a quote that you mentioned during the interview, like the title is "It Is What It Is," and you painted Doug and Laura because they have great knowledge of their surroundings. Remember that?
Yeah. No, I remember that, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, and it just, you know, simple things like, so this painting behind us that you can't see, you know, that's my cousin and his two little girls. And, you know, I forgot in some ways how much more it means to me to paint people I love and I know. You know, I've only got going on that one in the last week or so. It's like, oh, fuck. Yeah. There's something in this, man. Yeah. You kind of lose that sometimes. You forget that. And it's the same with that one. You know, it brings back a lot of memories. And it's funny as well. Someone said to me they thought they were fucking. I didn't even think that. I was like, imagine me being the photographer for that. I'd rather not. You know, it was about a lot more than that. But hey, people see what they want to see. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you'll never look at it the same again.
No. Thanks for that.
Pleasure, man. Glad Doug seems to be having so much fun in the throes of passion by the looks of things.
Well, it more looks like Laura is giving comfort to Doug.
Laura's doing all right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, no, I was not going that way. It looks like she's giving comfort to Doug.
Yeah, well,
right?
Yeah, that's more. It's my, hey, people see what they see, and that's the beauty of it. You don't want to kind of spell it out to people too much, or certainly I don't. But that wasn't what I was going for. It was more about that. I mean, that's where my head was at, man, right then, to be honest with you. You know, with everything going on. And it was just looking out for friends, important friends, to help you get through those sort of shitty times. And, like I said, that was the first one that led to ultimately this kind of body of work. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go. No.
No, and people that know your work might see your work like sometimes as unfinished, or maybe hats are like all finished. Is there a story behind it?
I think it's more just like I said, it's that order and chaos. I can paint all right, you know, I can paint a face, but I want to do more than paint a face. I want to explore that face. I want to play with it. I want to fuck it up. I want to, you know, my work generally, there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of unnecessary work, you could say. A lot of people certainly say that who know me, but it all kind of goes into feeding into that sort of story and narrative. But I don't want to just paint a normal face. You know, I want to play with it. I want to see where I can take it. It doesn't always work. You know, sometimes you ruin it. Sometimes you don't. Like I said, it's like all sorts of different things going on. You know, I'm really, really into sort of geometry at the moment. I've always loved it, but I'm now starting to play with it a little bit more within my work, and color, and it's just an ongoing thing. I wouldn't say I'm finished, because to me they're finished.
Yeah.
But I can understand, obviously, how other people can interpret it. Yeah, it's amazing how much work can go into something for it to actually look unfinished. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, no. Well, I mean, if it's like the purpose of the artist, it's not unfinished.
yeah,
as you just
no,
said, but
yeah,
that's a big question.
That's a long one.
Oh, that's a big question.
What's that? I can catch. Is the fact that you started with
Influence from street art.
influence from street art that informs the scale of your work? Do you find it different to paint it? Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I love painting. Like, actually, that size of that piece was pretty good. In terms of scale, because
remember the scale?
5 meters? Is it?
It's 5 meters wide by
and
385.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like that's a good size. I mean, I've painted bigger. I painted a big one at Crystal Ship a few years ago, and to be honest with you, like, nah, not for me. Like, it was fine, and I got it done, but it was too big. I could do it,
really
and
big.
I know obviously a lot of artists are, you know, bigger is better and all of that. I've done it, and it just doesn't. I can do it, but it's not the best way forward for my work. You know, like, the beautiful thing with working bigger is that you're able to really kind of, and it helps you loosen up. You make big marks, you hide mistakes. You know, working small, it's funny how it works in the studio, particularly because, you know, for me, again, this was a big part in previously, but I create smaller works, and you can only charge a certain amount for a smaller work. But
of course,
there could easily be more work in that smaller piece than the piece that's 2 meters, because you have to spend a lot more time really refining and details and tiny brushes. I've got one here at the moment, actually. I'll show a golf themed one, actually, and it's taken for bloody ever. And yeah, it's a lot easier to work on a scale that allows you a bit more freedom to do your thing and not think too much about it, not get too precious and get too tight. And that's what happens a lot of time with the smaller works.
The question was because, well, actually, my colleague is asking me.
What was the question?
She didn't understand the question.
I think he was just saying about street art and the influence. Yeah, like a lot of
yeah,
people,
no,
they
but
always say,
the size.
How do you paint that big? And I'm like, it's not, man. Like, it's practice. So I say that about everything with the art. It's a bit like, I don't know, I might be wrong, but everyone can play the guitar to some degree if they practice.
Yeah.
Everyone can paint to some degree if they practice.
Hey, Björn.
Hey, I didn't swear, did I? I don't even know.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Hello, beautiful. Hello, Bjorn. Yeah, that's for Bjorn, that big wall that he got me painting.
That's right.
And got me drunk every night as well, actually. I blame him.
Yeah,
but, he's a good boy now, I believe. So,
he gained some weight, right?
Yeah, man. No, last time I saw him, doing pretty well. Glad to hear. You bloody.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, man. It's beautiful to kind of see everyone and chat, but not be able to do it in person. You know what I mean? It's like, damn.
Yeah, it sucks.
We've been through the worst of it. That's what I'm trying to think.
I think so too. Yeah, and at least in this way we can interfere. You know, we can just have a little chat, interact, and
it's important, man, isn't it?
Let people join, like Björn and the guy from Puerto Rico, or Lars. You know, it's a nice way to together. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
So I think the question before, because somebody didn't understand, like, is it very different for you to paint in the streets compared to paint in the studio? It is, right?
No, man, not for me. Like I said, it's the I think it's called the Roan technique now. I saw Evoker do it for the first time. I always used to use grids, but grids can be a pain in the arse, man. Yeah, the Roan technique. So I saw Evoker doing it, and I was like, what is that? It looked like a really messed up retina. And then it came to leather, as obviously his work does. And, you know, it's just a case of if you get the basics right, then everything else sort of take care of itself in a lot of ways. That's right. And, for me, it's just practice, man. Practice.
Yeah.
You know, there are those, I think, you know, you see artists like Axel and like my man Joey Loughborough, and they're naturals. It feels like they were born to do it. You know what I mean? And that wasn't me. I've had to work at it, and I guess it's no surprise that things are going well because I've actually worked quite hard at it for the last few years. Finally,
Thank God.
yeah, about bloody time. And you get older and you're like, oh shit, I can't go out to the pub every other night or whatever. And no, I love it now.
It will
man.
come
Like,
again.
I miss it when I'm not in the studio. I'm trying to find that balance at the moment. You know, I've been on my own for 3-4. I mean, you could say I've been on my own for longer, and you can just kind of take care of yourself. But with a lady and a good one at that, is trying to find that healthy balance between a relationship and being a selfish ass in the studio. You know, because I could be here for 2-3 days straight. You know, that's how I'm kind of feeling it about it. I'm feeling really good and excited about it.
Perfect, man.
You know, that makes a change.
Yeah. So what made you go from black and white to colors? I don't think you told me.
No, yeah. I mean, I've been playing with color a little bit on and off for 5-6 years, just starting to, you know, and I think for a long time, the black and the white, it was just a process of, you know, getting better at painting, simple as that.
Yeah.
And doing it and doing it and doing it and learning. But then, like I said, you know, I get bored easy. And I felt like there was a lot more to discover. I've done little bits and bobs in the past with colour and enjoyed it, then kind of gone back to the black and white for some reason or another. And I don't get colour. Like, I'm learning colour, man. Like, again, that's not something that comes naturally to me. I'm playing with it. I'm kind of making it up as I go. And that's kind of the story of everything I do. You know, there's no real training there. It's a case of just seeing how it happens. And I actually painted a mural. First time I did a mural last year in Cambodia in skin tones, and it was just like, wow, straight away it was like, there's so much more with here, there's so much more scope, color and figurative form as well, you know, rather than just faces. And I think it's just that ongoing process where I'll, you know, and again, I'm trying to find that balance. This piece behind me, it will have really realistic skin tones, but then it's matched with those hot yellows and pinks and things. And I think it's just a natural progression, like most artists. You know, you want to evolve, you want to continue to challenge yourself, you want to continue to learn. You know, I could paint black and white trippy faces forever, but it's not what I want to do anymore. It doesn't stimulate me in the same way perhaps that it once did. And I'm just seeing color as an exciting new time. And, you know, like, it's not a conscious, or I don't think it was a conscious decision, but I don't think you can deny the fact that for me at least, if I'm feeling better in myself and my life, you know, there's color on the walls. You know what I mean? I think there's something to that. How much, I don't know. But, you know, that piece that you've got there and that whole body of work, you know, where I was painting at the studio at the time, where my head was at, you know, you can kind of tell. Whereas I think now, you know, it's, you know, everything's a bit better and that's coming out in the art maybe.
Well, thank God, man. That's great to hear, you know. And then a lot of exciting things are coming your way.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. It feels good. And just, I said to Finn actually the other week, it's like amazing what happens when you actually got nothing else to do and all you can do is be in the studio. You know, so just being in the studio, working the hours, and you start to see the results. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Perfect, man. So are you focusing on anything, like any projects in the near future, or?
I've got a pretty big project out in the Middle East, as and when. That'll be fun. I've done a few boxing gyms. They're kind of the commercial jobs, but they're really good, fun ones, man. It's kind of, hey, we've got these upscale boxing gyms and we like your work. We want you to do what you do. It's not like some of the other ones that I've done in the past where, hey, we like this, but could you do, you know, let me run it through the
John Travolta.
So that'll take me out there, that'll be the third one I've done, and that's with a lovely lady called Marie and her interior company. You know, and those jobs are great, man. Like, they pay well. They are.
You also need those.
Work. Yeah. Say again.
You also need those to survive.
Oh hell yeah, man! And I enjoy them. I learn a huge amount from them. You know, they're not the sort of brain killing commercial jobs. You know, like, I've got my freedom to do what I do, and they afford for me to then spend 6 months in the studio. You know.
Yeah. So where is that? You know, that's in the Middle East, but where?
Doha, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be fun, just to get some sun as well. That'd be nice. But just waiting for that. And there's a few other little murals and things ticking over. But I kind of...
Is it like in Denmark or where?
No, back in Belgium. There's one particularly, at least there. There was one in the UK.
The one
And
in
yeah, I
Belgium,
mean,
wasn't that one planned for after my visit, your visit to
yes,
Rotterdam?
they fell through because of everything going on and other things, unfortunately. So, and that's the
Yeah.
thing, I haven't painted any of these new pieces on the streets yet, the
Yeah.
colourful stuff. So I'm excited to start playing with that. But yeah, no, for me, really, it's, you know, I want to get out in the streets. I want to travel a little bit, you know, being in Europe now, thank God, still being European.
Yeah.
I've got that freedom, and the missus loves art as well, and she's really bloody good at it. She's one of those annoying ones that she's got it in her blood. She's like a
Oh, yeah.
biologist, and then she's like, and she's really, really good. So, which is great because, like, I'm trying to encourage her. She's got a little space in my studio, and we're going to go out and about. And, you know, I love painting abandoned spots, man. I like painting where no one else is around, and I'm sure not too far from here we'll be able to find a few of those. So I want to do a few of them, and I'm just working on the studio stuff, really. I'm really enjoying that, working with the gallery,
lovely,
putting a real body of work together. And like I said, I've been doing these releases that, you know, I'm very thankful have been selling out, which is new for me. So just kind of, you know, I've got 2 or 3 of them ticking along. I've got these canvases, 1 or 2 of them are going to specific places. What's that? How
yeah.
did
Well,
COVID?
we really spoke about it for half an hour.
Yeah, sorry, Bjorn. Basically, I was meant
Yeah.
to do murals for people like you, but COVID got in the
Yeah.
way of them, so I had to go into the studio.
And you
I messaged you
struggled,
yesterday.
and you
I struggled, but it was
found
good as
love,
well
moved,
because I
moved to
fell in love.
Copenhagen.
COVID
Yeah,
love. Yeah, man.
moved to Copenhagen. Yeah, that's
What else was
basically it.
there? Played
Yeah,
a lot of golf. Got
played a
pretty
lot
good
of
at
golf.
golf again.
Yeah.
Had nothing else. And hung out with my mum.
So
Yeah.
there you go, Bjorn.
There you go. Catch up.
Yeah. So yeah, cool, man. I'm actually happy to have a little chat with you, to have a little catch up. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's okay, Bjorn.
We forgive you, darling.
Hopefully we can travel soon again and
Yeah.
go to Portugal or whatever. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, no,
that would be
100%
great.
would be.
Or at
Treat
least
our
I would
culture.
love to visit Copenhagen
Oh,
since
you're
I
more than
never
welcome,
visited.
man. I've said, like, we're gonna have well, I'm gonna try and do some handyman work in next, so we'll have a spare room, well, a front room / sofa bed. So
Perfect.
I'm looking forward to having people over. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, more the merrier. Come over
Yeah.
and drink some Tuborg.
What's this?
Tuborg, it's their beer. It's a Danish
Okay.
beer.
Okay. Any good?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's as bad as the English beer, but no, the
Okay.
classics is all right. But they've also got the nice stuff, but it's a little pricier over here.
Okay. Yeah. That's inconvenient for you.
Yeah, you learn to drink the cheaper stuff, and you drink less. You know,
Yeah.
making good changes, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
That's
Hello,
not
Melissa.
there.
Belgian beer forever, man. Belgian beer forever.
Yeah. So Ben, I think I'm through most of my questions. But there was one left. Oh no, there were 2 left actually. You remember the question of talking about alcohol anyway. The question of Noel. When was this in Bristol? Noel sent
So
a
that
question.
was like up.
No, but let me just phrase the question because otherwise people will not understand. But Noel wrote me a question like why you turned purple by drinking cider, right?
I think it's cider and whiskey sometimes.
Okay.
I
And you
haven't worked
turned
it out,
purple?
man. Like, oh mate, I went purple. Like, I mean, like Ribena purple. I had to hide away in the gallery. I had to hide out the back. I don't know what happened.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, they were good times, man. Like, I missed that. Like Upfest. Like Upfest was the first time I painted on the streets. Like 2007 or 8 was the first. That's when I met Snick.
Okay.
Who else was there? There was a few others there. But yeah, Noel. I think Noel was at the second one, maybe when Finn was there. You know, all these guys. Like,
No painted there a lot.
Yeah, coming together. You know, having fun times, painting, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the truth is, no, I have no idea why it happened. But like, every now and then, you know, it will just have a reaction, and it ain't pretty.
Yeah. No. Well, he's not here right now, but he will probably see the question later, so then he knows. Hey, and at the end of every STRAAT talk, I ask like, which artist do you want me to chat with after this one?
Yeah, you asked. Like, it's a tricky one, man, because there's a few. There's definitely a few.
So I need to pick one, or are you
But
going to tell me?
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? I've got 3 names, but then I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
feel bad for the ones that get left out. But I've got 3 names I was thinking of, or one that kind of links to that piece in the museum.
This one.
Mm.
Well,
Because I said to you, that makes sense, doesn't it? I think, because that was the first of a show that I did out in Denver with Black Book.
okay.
And I spent a good couple of months out there in the streets.
Answer the question later.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, in a bit.
Yeah.
I spent a good couple of months out there, travelled around. I was in Philly doing something. I was in Denver. But I did the show alongside David Walker.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think we shared a place for about a week. And kind of did some painting and hung out. And I mean, I've known David probably at least 10 years or so now. I remember seeing his show with Inky. Inky was one of the other names I was going to say.
Yeah.
They did a joint show in London years ago. And I've always kind of had a lot of respect for what David's able to do. And he's a great dude, interesting dude.
He is.
A bit
He
shy,
actually
so I don't know if he'd want to talk. But hey, who knows?
Well, David is actually also a dear friend.
That's good. And his piece in the museum is
it's
serious.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it really
it's
is.
very colorful, as the work of David always is. He actually stayed at my parents when he painted here.
Oh, really? Nice.
My father is still, I think, in the chat, so he will also see this. But
you got a nice place in Amsterdam. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. You visited? No,
I think we sat outside and kind of chilled outside by the canal for a bit. But I don't think we went in.
Yeah. So David, Inky.
And the other one was great friends as well, great guys, and I stayed with them in New York, was Icy and Sot.
That's my father, yeah.
Is that your Hey, Ruse. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Icy and Sot in the back. I can see a little bit of Inky, and David Walker is up there. You know,
they're 3 good ones, man. Like Inky's obviously got so much history, and he's a funny bugger.
Yeah, that's right.
I've had some good times with him. Icy and Sot, love those 2. Great fun, and you know,
they have a very interesting piece here.
Oh man, what they've been doing the last few years.
Yeah, you met them during Crystal Ship.
Yeah, that's where I met them for the first time, actually. Yeah. Another one of that, you know, we talk online. I think we chatted a little bit, but then kind of we hung out and drank and with them and Jean, and yeah, they're great. And yeah, they've stepped it up tenfold, I feel, in the last few years. What they're doing is amazing. Yeah, so yeah, I think you got
inspiring words. Yeah, well, at least we have a couple of names.
We have options.
For the David Walker, I need to go up. I need to take an elevator, which can also be very interesting, because right now I'm sitting at the ground floor. Yeah, but I mean that's perfect. And there was a question: would you ever come back to London streets with your art again?
Yeah, man. Like I was meant to do something because London. Yeah, I love London, and it was so important for me as not just as an artist, but also as a person. But like painting in London nowadays, it ain't the same. You know, I think the last time I did something there was for Monica about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was great because it was next to my favourite pub in the world, so it was kind of perfect. But
like
painting in London now just a lot of talk of beer, I guess, isn't it? And the idea of going near a beer right now, anyways, I'm done with that.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if the opportunity arises, I think there's some guys doing some cool stuff down in Walthamstow, the Static Boys, and if anything came up, you know, absolutely. But Brick Lane.
Who was the old guy you painted a couple of times?
Charlie Burns.
That
was fun, man. Yeah. That was, and that's the thing. Like, not always, but on the streets, I like to try and tell a story. You know, and Charlie I met because I'd done a painting of another guy who used to drink in our bar, who passed away, and then someone hooked me up with Charlie's family, who had this amazing history in the area, and the family, you know, in the face of everything that's happening, the Burnses are kind of there doing their thing, and so I painted Charlie a couple of times, and then it got taken out, and then Kevin Ledo painted him.
Yeah, I was there when he was painting it.
Yeah,
actually.
Kev painted. Yeah, of course you were.
Yeah.
Nether painted him. Yeah, it's been a fun story. It's been an ongoing kind of thing, man, where I could just kind of hand it off to other artists who met the family and heard the story and kind of did their version of it. So the first time I painted him, Charlie was still alive, and he'd just sit in his car. watching the world go by, telling everyone that that was him. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he passed away, unfortunately. But Carol there, particularly his daughter, you
Yeah, I
know,
met her.
you
Yeah.
met her, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's the thing, the stories, man, the reasons to paint.
Yeah.
I love painting, don't get me wrong, but it's also about everything else that kind of comes with it, you know. And yeah, if the opportunity came, then London, yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't say it's at the top of my list, you know,
No. Okay.
right now,
Perfect.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, new opportunities, new
Oh,
projects,
absolutely. Absolutely,
and a
man.
bright future together, man.
Yeah, no, too right.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for this hour.
Okay, is that how long? We already done an hour,
We
blimey.
done, yeah, 55 minutes.
Wow.
So
All right.
yeah, if
Oh,
you want to chat about something else for 5 more minutes,
oh,
yeah.
just any opportunity to see you.
Yeah, man,
No,
I'm looking forward, really.
yeah, man, like a few months hopefully, and we'll have that freedom.
Yeah,
So, golf trip,
golf trip,
promised. And
promised. Yeah, sure.
yeah, so I'm looking forward. I really want to go to Poland. Never been,
Mm,
can't wait. You know, just having that on my doorstep now and things like that. And we
yeah,
got this ongoing project with Melissa. I think it was on the chat in Leuven, just outside of Brussels. We've been
yeah,
meaning to do that for a couple of years, but COVID kind of got in the way. But we brought over NDA, Nick. I don't know if you know him. Great guy out of Philly.
okay.
And we're going to have another 4 on there next, well, probably be next year now. So we'll get out and about again soon enough.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you know how it is.
okay. Well, stay safe, stay healthy.
Yourself, wash your hands.
Of course, they're still here.
Absolutely.
So, enjoy the rest of your birthday. It was really nice that you joined us for your
No, thank you for
during your
having me.
birthday, you know.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely.
say hi to the missus.
Will do.
Keep,
Likewise.
yeah, thank you. Keep continuing being creative, and man, we'll catch up soon.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
definitely, mate. Look forward to it.
All right.
Lots of love, matey. Take care of
Bye.
yourself.
Bye.
Thanks, dude.